All right, so I hope you enjoyed that very first beginner's session of hypnotherapy. So I just want to orientate you to what I used in the manuals. And if you were watching this instead of actually going through it as a client, you'll know that I actually picked up the book and I was reading from it. How bad, Susan? Susan, I thought you were professional. I thought you knew how to do all of this stuff off by heart. I do. I wrote the manual. Okay, but what I wanted to do today is I want this to be really realistic. You probably don't have any experience of hypnosis, and you're going to need to read some of this stuff until you get a real sense of it. And then you'll be able to comfortably close the manuals and you'll be able to deliver it all by yourself. But to get there, sometimes we've just got to read. So I started off by actually doing the eye fixation with you. So that eye fixation script is on page 20 of your book. Now, I had to wing that, and I've done this maybe 50,000 times at this stage, so it's always a little bit different when I do it. But the script is there for you. Now, unfortunately, you're going to have to learn this off because you can't realistically be reading the script and kind of, doing this with your client. But it's really easy. You're simply telling your client that in a moment a few changes will take place. The first thing they'll notice is that their breathing will change. The second thing they'll notice is that they'll have the need to swallow. And the third thing they'll notice is that their eyes begin to grow heavy. It's really simple. 3 things. In fact, everything I do in this course will be around 3 things, okay? That was eye fixation. That was on page 20. So then the next thing I did was I did an induction, and I used one of my favorite inductions. You will love this because you can use this in so many different ways. You can use it in person, you can use it in groups. It's fantastic in a group experience, and you can also use it online. Candle of Relaxation is on page 23. It's a short script. And then the next thing I did was I did a breath deepener. Now, if you were watching me, you'll see me doing a lot of these movements with my hands. The reason I'm doing that is I'm trying to give you some direction on the fact that when your client is relaxed in your comfortable chair, you'll notice that their chest will rise and then it will fall. And this is your natural metronome. You'll use the rhythm of their chest to help you to decide when to speak. And if you go as slowly as your client breathes, well then, you'll never go too fast. Do you see where I'm going? Otherwise, if you're just using your normal conversational voice, you're going to be way too fast and your client's not going to go anywhere. They're just not going to go into hypnosis. It's one of the biggest mistake that every beginner makes is they go way too fast. And honestly, because I'm doing this online, I've gone a little bit too fast too when I was actually reading the scripts from the book. Now, if Susan had her wits about her when she was doing this session, she would have gone on to page 26 and she would have put the anchor in then. But guess what? I messed up. Now, I've been doing hypnotherapy for 25, nearly 28 years now, and I'm still messing up. So straight off the bat, I'm going to let you know something really important. You're not going to get it right all the time, okay? You don't have to do things in the specific order that I have suggested on the master template, okay? It's a good idea if you do stick to that because you know exactly where you're going. But in the moment, you'll find you probably forget something. And as long as you don't forget to do the actual therapy, it's probably going to be okay. So I forgot to do the OK anchor on page 26, and I went straight into giving you the confidence suggestions. Now, the confidence suggestions, I pretty much know them off by heart because I've been using them for years. And the suggestions I've got from this book here. Now, as you can see, this book is absolutely in tatters because I've had it for 25 years. I'm not saying that you need to go out and buy any books. I give you tons of books. I give you tons of reference materials and everything. But if you wanted to give yourself a nice little present, or you wanted to reward yourself, or you wanted to hint to somebody in your family what you might like for Christmas or your birthday or for Easter, then I would definitely say, if you had no other hypnotherapy books, this is the one to get. It's amazing, okay? I just used a standard script from there. Now, Susan Wallace is not going to teach you how to just read scripts on this course, but this is your first attempt at hypnotizing somebody else. You're not at the stage of writing scripts just yet, but I will get you there, don't worry. Okay, so I just use that script. I'll make it available to you, don't worry. And then after that, I went on to page 29. So that was my follow-up with positive suggestions. We're not doing an intervention at this level yet. That's coming further down the line. We're just doing, your standard, your bog standard hypnotherapy session. So we did the induction, we did the deepener. Susan should have done the anchor. We did the positive suggestions, the key to your success, etc., etc. And then I invited you to go into the future and to imagine the positive effects of feeling more confident. So that was mental rehearsal. That's on page 29 of your book. And then at least I did remember to reinforce the anchor, which was on page 29 as well. So instead of reinforcing the anchor, what Susan was really doing was introducing the anchor. But look, hopefully you didn't really notice, And you've got to remember as well, when you're working with a client, they're not experts in hypnotherapy, so they're not going to be going, I thought the anchor should have come way, way before the suggestions. So today I'm giving you permission to make mistakes, because by making mistakes, that's how you learn. And look, you've got to go easy on yourself. I could have actually got into a fit around this and gone and decided to go and re-record the whole thing until I got it perfect. But do you know what? I have finally accepted I am not perfect and I never will be. So my best is good enough. And guess what? Your best is good enough too. So that was the reinforcing the anchor. And then the last thing I did was I counted you up from hypnosis, and that was the number 9, emerge from hypnosis. Again, you've got a little script there. At this stage in my career, I just don't use scripts for emerging. I just use whatever's going on with my client. But that's a handy little script to use. Now, what does emerging from hypnosis means? Basically, all you want to do is you want to reorientate your client back into the normal everyday world, and you want to make sure that they're not leaving your practice where they're still very open to suggestion. So it's just a simple process of just bringing them back up. Think of it like this. Imagine if you fell asleep and you were having a lovely, comfortable afternoon nap and somebody was to come into the room. How would you like to be woken up? So, something like that. And of course, I'm not saying that hypnosis is sleep. It's not sleep at all. We'll have big discussions about that further in the course. Okay, and that's it. That's as much of the dynamic template that we're using today. That's more than enough. If you go back to page 10, there's a few things that we did not do, okay? We did not use the convincer. We did not use the intervention, and we did not test the therapy. We will be doing that stuff further along the line, but today it's about you making a start and having that first session with a client. So thank you for listening. Bye for now.